No one in this world can you trust. Not men, not women, not beasts. This you can trust.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Glory of Golden State Gaming. I'm your host, SwampSwimmer, and with me, as always, the Luke Duke to my Bo Duke, Vespasian.
Hey everybody, that's a good one. I like that.
That is, I think Daryl gave me that one, so.
Nice.
So, you know, we haven't checked in on movies and shows revolving around fantasy environment storytelling in a little bit. And I realized recently a couple trailers dropped and a movie came out that I wanted to talk about. I have seen the trailers, but like I haven't seen the actual show or this actual movie yet, and I really want to. But it's the trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel, House of Dragons, dropped. The trailer for the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power series came out. And a movie just got released in the theaters that looks freaking awesome called The Northman, which is like Viking. I've got thoughts on all of them, but let me start with The Northman. It's directed by one of my favorite directors, Roger Ebert, who did The Lighthouse and The Witch. If you've watched they're one of my two favorite movies in a really long time. And it looks just like a badass Viking action movie. Yeah. But Roger Ebert does like really cool, like mindfuck movies, to put it a better way than that. So I can't wait to see what this movie looks like. Have you seen the trailer for this?
I have, yeah, and it's got a heck of a cast too, right? It's like
Nicole Kidman, Skarsgård, Ethan Hawke is in it.
Yeah. No, I that one is definitely on my list. What platform is that? Is it on Netflix or what platform is that?
No, it's in the theaters. Just it's a movie.
Oh, theaters.
Yeah.
That one is definitely on my list for sure. And I thought we talked about Lord of the Rings.
We did briefly, but maybe I'm just adding that in there. But I am excited for that one.
Yeah.
But no,
I haven't seen the GOT prequel.
It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. A lot of really white people with really white hair. The House of Dragons. What is it? Targaryen.
That's when they invade Westeros, right? Originally, Aegon the Conqueror, right? I think.
No, they already have power. I think it's them losing power. I don't know. I am not entirely sure, but it looks beautiful as always. I mean, Game of Thrones is a high budget show, and it looks pretty freaking awesome.
I kind of wished that they would have done the original like the war that I forget the name, but the war that ended with the Battle of the Trident, right? When
the War of the Three Rivers or something like that. Is that it?
Yeah, the one that put Robert in power, right? Yeah. That ended the Targaryen dynasty, right? Like I think that would have been like a little bit more accessible for the viewing public that didn't necessarily read the books, right? And it could, and kind of give you an opportunity to kind of take those like old guys that all died off in the original show,
Ned Stark and all that good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that would have been really cool, but this also should be neat. And you get, I think you get dragons in it. I can't remember.
There are definitely dragons in the trailer too. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'll like it.
Do you know if they're based on full books like Game of Thrones was? Because I'm a little worried.
I don't think they are.
I'm a little worried because the last two seasons of Game of Thrones, it went off and it fell apart, and I account that mostly to there were no more books for them to follow. And I'm a little worried they're gonna go a little crazy without guidance of the books. So I'm worried about that, but I'm still gonna watch it. So
yeah, I'll still watch it for sure. I think it's not better because this is basically what they did the last 2 seasons. But I think that the idea is that Martin gave them the sort of like behind the scenes background material that
the
like
inside
fleshed
info,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, but I if there's a book that covers that period, I don't know of it.
All right, well, I think I'm excited for all those things, but let's get into the battle report. If you guys remember, I am playing in a 3-game tournament with my flamethrower list of salamanders and a giant with a pet salamander with the evocation quaddle. I had a 7 to 13 loss against Henry, and I get paired into Obi on demons, and he said this is his first time he's running demons. It's an interesting list. We'll get to it, but Obi's a great opponent. This is the first time I played him. Obi's a cool guy. It was Dawn Assault, King of the Hill. If you are interested in my list, please click the link right above my head. It is for the previous battle report where we go into my list in a little more detail. But let's go into Obi's demon list. So he's got the Sentinel on evocation. The thing to notice here is he's on the dark pulpit, not the flying thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's got a Maw of Akan, which is they're super fun. He's got 22 Lemures, 15 Myrmidons, 10 Imps, 3 Brazen Beasts, 7 Eidolons, a Hope Harvester, a Titan Slayer Chariot, and then 5 Furies for Chaff.
Okay.
So what he did was he ran the Sentinel and the Hope Harvester in the unit of Lemures, which was interesting.
Yeah, that makes them pretty beefy, especially with mirrored skills.
Yeah.
And unnatural roots. So your ones bounce back on you. They're an extra +1 to combat res. They've got the attacks from the harvester. Yeah, that's an interesting build. I mean, that's all your eggs in one basket right there, right?
Yeah, really. And then he's got the Maw just running around eating things.
Yeah, mirrored scales on that is a kind of an atypical choice, but that makes him really a pain in the butt to go into, right? Because he heals himself, right? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, interesting list. Lots of magic. Jeez, he's got like 8 spells.
So this was Dawn Assault. So he chose to deny his corner up here, and I was denied this corner down on the right here.
Okay.
Deployment. I can't remember who got the first turn. Oh, I got the first turn. We were dropping back and forth for a little bit, and then I dropped everything to go first. So I've got on the far left is the Giant, the Stygiasaur, the 2 units of 2 Salamanders are in the water there. Behind them is the Bow unit with my Wizard in it. Next to them is the Hunters with my BSB, the Skaman block, the unit of Bows with the Quaddle attached to them, and then my little chaffy 15-man skink units on the right. The Pterodons and both the Pterodons and the Ramphidons vanguarded up to here, and I scouted the Chameleons on the right here. I chose.
And sorry, what was the objective?
What was it? I don't even remember. King of the Hill.
My bad.
King of the Hill. He chose this forest here as what I have to get to, and I chose this water, what he has to get to. And then I chose to mark, let's go over his list. So in the back left there is the Titan Slayer Chariot. In front of them is the Myrmidons. And to the right of them are the shooty guys, the Imps. Behind them are the Furies. Then it's his big block with his big character, his Sentinel, and the shooty Chariot, whatever it's called. Then the Maw, then the Eidolons, then the Brazen Beasts. So I was thinking,
cool
yeah, let me zoom in on that one. So I showed the best spot for my flamers to go into is probably this Myrmidon unit, and then get into his big block. That's what I was thinking. And I thought the best targets for my Ramphidons were the Brazen Beasts and the Eidolons. So those are the 2 I marked. Yeah, so then I'll just go right into it. I think I got pretty aggressive here. I throw the pterodons up here to chaff the brazen beasts. The chameleons head up to start shooting them. I know he's gonna shoot me with the eidolons here, so I put the ramphidons like this so I have line of sight to him, but the impassable terrain here is covering over 50% of my base, so he's gonna be shooting on me on -2. And he can stay where he is, but then he has an addition. He's shooting through the forest, or he can move up and get a better shot with short range, and I can charge him. That's kind of the trade-off. You don't see it here. I move up I put the chaff in front of these blocks here, and I push up with the salamanders. I don't think you see it in this picture, but I get Bubble Dance Macabre off, and I push up the salamanders even more, and first turn shoot that block with the salamanders, which is super nice. Let's see here. Oh, that's a blurry picture. I apologize, but if you can see through the blur, this is his turn. His Myrmidon unit is down to like 4 or 5 guys. He brings the Titan Slayer chariot up on the hill. He doesn't really move his big block or his shooters. He pushes the maw up in my face, and he takes the chaff on the right. And he does move up his eidolons to shoot the ramphidons. All right. With his shooting with the eidolons, he does 3 wounds to my ramphidons, but I still take the charge into his eidolons. He kills the chaff on the right. I move the chameleons round his back, and I end up letting him get Dance Macabre. Super interesting story. This is the first game I've ever seen Dance Macabre on both sides, because his sentinel took Dance Macabre. He pushes his maw right up into the face of my guys, which is a little scary. So over on the left, I push the salamanders past his Titan Slayer chariot to shoot into his imps or into the big unit, and I put my Stygisaur in front of his Titan Slayer chariot to take the charge. And what I was planning was to focus on all my other magic, and then when he gets up, when I get his dice out of his hand, I'll throw 2 dice at Swarm of Insects and make my Stygisaur scarified. And then his Titan Slayer chariot impact hits can only wound me on a 5+. But then the story is in my magic phase. I think this was the magic phase where I didn't cast a single spell. And on that phase? Yeah. And then when I tried to cast Swarm of Insects, I rolled double 1s. It was just bad. It was just very, very bad. As you can see, his 3 remaining Myrmidons end up killing or breaking my Pterodon, which is fine. And I can't remember what else happens here. I end up blowing up the Eidolons and turning around to face the Brazen Beast, because that's the other marked unit. Yeah, and that's what happens. And then I think I jumped a turn here. Yeah, I did. So he goes and he pushed up his maw right in front of my face. I throw all the shooting and magic I can at him, and I get him down to 3 wounds. Okay. I get him down to 3 wounds, which is super nice. So I'm thinking like, oh, I can take him in combat now. Even with the skink unit, it's not perfect, but the Ramphidon, I think he goes for a long charge with his Brazen Beast, and I just flee with this unit here, so he's stuck where he is again, and I charge the flank with my Ramphidons to wrap these guys up, or to hopefully wrap these guys up. He charges his Titan Slayer chariot into my Stygisaur and just smack them 1 turn, which, you know, since I didn't get the scarification up, I just kind of have to realize that he turns to face my giant. I run my giant up and try to flame things. And he gets another charge into the giant. Notice there are... This salamander here, he shot up both the salamanders in his turn. This one fled and fled all the way through on the other side of the hill to here. The other one stayed, but I moved him around the back, and you can barely see him behind here. That's my other salamander here. And I think I shot with both salamanders into this imp unit and did like 1 wound. My dice were just trash in this game.
Well, they do. They have a 3-up Aegis against ranged. I mean, it's pretty. They're not a great target.
Do they? I think he might have missed that. Obi.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I hope it is. I'll look it up while we're talking.
And I can't remember how many rounds of combat we go through, but this Maw just heals back 2 wounds. And I do 2 wounds to it. Heals back 2 wounds, and I do 2 wounds to it. And we're just sitting here fighting, which is pretty crazy. Let's see what happens next. Yeah, so this is the really, really bad turn. So I end up killing the Titan Slayer Chariot with my giant on the left, which was super lucky. On the right, I charged in with those Ramphidons, right? Into the flank of Brazen Beasts with them toted. And again in this magic phase...
only had 2, right?
Yeah, I only had 2. And in the magic phase, I focused on casting 2 spells. I think I threw like a 2 dice about maybe another spell. But I either tried to heal the Ramphidons, so then there would be another base to attack, and I also tried to cast Whispers on the Brazen Beast to bring their toughness down to 3, so I'll be winning on 3 pluses. Didn't get either of them off. I go in, I kill the Brazen Beast down to 2 wounds. I think I do 4 wounds total. He swings back, and it does exactly 4 wounds to kill the unit. And if they would have survived on 1 wound, I would have won combat. So because of that, he gets to free reform, and then in his turn, he goes for a long charge into my Quaddle, makes it, and then one-shots my Quaddle.
Whoa.
He
made it through the stand and shoot too. Jeez. Yep. That's brutal.
It was pretty brutal. I failed like all of my Aegis saves with my Quaddle. It was bad. Also, I can't seem to shoot down the last of this Myrmidon unit. See, there's 2 guys still here. So it was a bad turn for the skinks in this game. You can see here, this is what happens. The Quaddle's dead. I basically cleared out his backfield, so all of my poison shooting and the giant are surrounding his 2 units here. And then the cool thing happens. I spike my dice against the Maw, and I smack him. I kill him. I think I do. I win because I have a lot of static combat res. So I think I win combat by 3. And he had 3 wounds left, and he failed his break test, and did the last 3 wounds to him.
Okay. Wow.
It was lucky, yeah. And then you notice here his shooting just takes off the giant and that last salamander on the left.
Yeah. I mean, that sentinel, the sentinel and the imps,
yeah,
and Hope Harvester combined is a lot of ranged output.
It is. It really. I underestimate the Hope Harvester every game I play against it. I swear to God.
It's super swingy, but it has a lot of upside potential. Let's just say that. Like I've gotten 28 shots with it before. And
yeah.
That is glorious. You know.
And the imps don't have the 3-up Aegis to shooting at the Eidolons, right?
No, the imps. I checked it. They do.
Oh, really? Okay, that's why I wasn't getting anything done with them. And this is where the game ends, basically. The no one's got the secondary, but he's definitely up on points, and I end up getting a 7. The second 7 in this tournament. 7 and 7. Again, big thanks to Obi. It was a really fun game. It was a frustrating one for me because of my dice, but Obi was a great opponent to play against. Yeah, what do you think? If this combat had worked how I planned it, it would work. I feel like I wouldn't have lost as hard. I wouldn't have lost my quaddle, so it would have been something or closer to a 10.
I'm just checking, like, that just seems like really out of the box. Yeah, because they only have.
Yeah, the rider when they don't charge.
Battle, yes.
Yeah, when the rider has one attack when they don't charge, and I think the beast has like 2 or 3.
Two.
Yeah, and he just rolled.
So he must have just rolled like 2 or 3 6s, basically, like that. That's just bad. That's just bad luck right there for you. I mean, I think that's a good charge. They do have 4 health points each.
Yeah.
So, like, fully taking the unit off is unlikely, but certainly dying in response, it also feels pretty unlikely.
Well, I thought I was just gonna pop them with combat res because they didn't have. There was 1 full health, and then one guy had taken 2 or 3 wounds, so he was down to 5, 6 wounds total.
Yeah, there's something like I'm a little unclear of like what happened over on the left hand side there. Like it feels like that Hope Harvester basically like killed like half your.
So here it was, and then the imps and the Hope Harvester shot into these salamanders. One ran away over to here, and the other one didn't run away and ran into his flank over here.
I see. Okay, I guess I didn't quite see it. All right. Yeah. I mean, I think your plan was solid. You don't really have anything that can engage that sentinel block, reliably. No. So I think avoiding that made sense. It feels like you played your right well, and your left, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe you could have just, because that Titan Slayer, like, why not just get out of the arc with the Stygiasaur, I guess is my question.
I realized I couldn't with the giant, so that's what I decided to do. And I think the reason why I couldn't was because I wanted to shoot with him. He could have marched out of the arc, but I feel like with this list, I need every round of fire shooting as I can. So that's why I chose to do that. And I felt confident that he wanted to stop the other spells more than the spells for the Stygiasaur to make him scarified, but I was wrong.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I can't like pinpoint anything that really feels like you did. You made a big mistake. It feels like the strategy was pretty sound, and just maybe it wasn't like a big winning strategy, but certainly wasn't a losing strategy. But it's tough. I mean, that Sentinel, Hope Harvester, and Lemur unit is like 1,700 points or something crazy like that.
So tell me if I'm doing this right. At the tail end of the game with all this poison shooting into that unit, I roll to hit. If I roll a 6, I can choose to distribute that poison shot into the Hope Harvester. Is that correct? One of them.
Yes. You get to pick the shot that goes into the differently sized or different model type. Yeah.
So I was doing that.
Just like you can have the multi-wound bolt thrower, right? Hit the war platform, right? Like that. Yeah.
So I was doing that like for like 3 or 4 turns in a row, and I got it down to half wounds, which was interesting by the end of the game.
But it's like 4 up, 5 up, so it's not going to happen like reliably. Yeah,
it's not going to happen. But
yeah, that's a tough outcome. I mean, I feel like you definitely kind of had a good shot at a small win here. But once again, the scoring, I mean, it basically feels like you didn't have a way to win the objective, right? So,
yeah. What I was planning for, because I was going to clear out this side, then I was going to run this skink unit, either this skink unit or the bows into the objective. That's what I was planning to do, but it never came to fruition.
Yeah, that Brazen Beast locked up like 1,400 points.
I know.
Single model Brazen Beast. Wow.
It was depressing. But hey, great game. I'm sitting at 14 points out of 2 games. We'll see how my round 3 goes. If anyone's still watching, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks, everybody.